So what we are doing tonight, obviously, we're going to go around. We're going to announce some wins across the board. I am happy to see Eli, Justin, and Katie on the call because they were not here last week. So good to see some new faces. We'll go around. We'll say our wins. I will share with y'all a little bit about our Memorial Day party that we're going to be having in about 2 weeks from now. It's going to be how we celebrate the end of the challenge and Memorial Day at the same time. And then from there, we're going to open it up to Miss Jill, and Miss Jill's going to be sharing with us because she's now down 29 pounds in her journey. And transitioned like significantly from where she started to where she is now, and she's going to share that with y'all. So, before we get started and all that, let's go around and share some positive things. It can be a gym related win, it can be anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be related to this. So, let's go around, and Eli, we're going to start with you. I hope he can hop on. Wait and see.
There we go.
There we go. What's up, Eli?
What's up? A win for me would be I went to the doctor yesterday or 2 days ago, and
Uh-huh.
I go probably like twice a year. So when I started seeing this doctor, I wasn't able to get on his scale because it only went to like 350.
Uh-huh.
So when I went back yesterday, he was like, "Wow, the weight you lost. It's like whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's working. Your blood pressure still is a little high, but it's gonna come down with the way you losing weight." So I was happy to hear that.
That's so freaking awesome. I love that for you. That's a huge accomplishment. How much are you
Yeah.
down so far now?
I was 370, 370, I believe, and now I'm at 340.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you, Eli. That's a huge win. And for your doctor to even say something, it's like,
Yeah, that made me like I felt great hearing
that's
that.
awesome. Well, good. I hope that gives you even more momentum. Like, because I know
Yeah,
you found it and like you were getting a little tired of meal prep last week. I know that. So hopefully
yes.
that kind of lit the fire again. But that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm still meal prepping. It's still a challenge, but I'm getting it done
You're
now.
doing it.
I found it easier to meal prep Wednesday through Saturday than do like Monday through Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. Whatever works, just make it work.
Right.
You know? Well, that's awesome, Eli. Love to hear it.
Man.
Justin, what about you?
Yeah, I had a really good week before I went out of town for a week, which in the past would have just probably completely set me back. And even the week prior to being out of town, I probably wouldn't have taken it as serious, just thinking that I was going to ruin it on vacation. But I worked out my normal sequence of working out. I moved every day. Still on vacation, and basically navigated that with healthy choices at restaurants and stuff, eating out, but it's completely different than what I would have done in the past. And while I wasn't completely tracking perfectly like I would have wanted to, I navigated it well enough to where I got through the vacation, got back, and got back on regular track this week, and have continued to drop weight. So that, to me, that's a win, instead of just being all over the place, getting off the rails, and doing what I would have done previously to being a part of Be More. So that's a win for me.
Say, maybe like a year ago, that might have been your MO, but now it's totally different.
Yeah, totally different. That's right.
Totally different. I love that. That's awesome. Great job, Biscuit. What about you, Barb? We can unmute. There we go.
I just jumped on. So what are we're asking for
We're
wins?
yeah, just sharing wins.
I'm just stuck with my protein, and I walked every day, got over my 10,000 steps, except for yesterday when I was in the car for 10 hours. But but I've
Understandable.
been able, yeah, but I've been able to stick with making sure I get all my protein. I've been logging religiously,
Good for you.
and just trying to keep up the program
Yeah,
and sticking with it, even with my insanity schedule.
you're doing a
So
really good job. You know that.
Well, I mean, it's some days I get, because it's been a long time,
Yeah.
me doing it. And so it does get kind of old sometimes, but at the same time, I know where I was when I started, and
Right.
I never want to go back there. So it's keeping me motivated. I
I
look
was
at those
gonna say,
pictures. You look
yeah,
at those pictures, the before and now, and I'm like, okay, I got to continue. This is my lifestyle forever and ever, and it's a journey forever.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. And I'll be honest, I've gotten really tired of it and bored sometimes on my journey too. But then, just like you said, like this is what we do. This is just part of it now. And you're
Yeah,
doing it with flying colors, man, because
well,
you've navigated so many different obstacles along your journey too.
yeah, and this has been a really tough week because the chronic pain in my back and neck have been really bad this week, and I don't know what the heck is that it's about, but it's just been it's just hard to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So, when it's rough, it's rough. And
Right.
so, it's my dedication and be more and my family there that keep me going and keep me moving. So
Good.
thank you.
I'm glad we can be there for you. And you're still doing great. Look, you're controlling what you can. And some weeks, that's really what it's all about. Not every week is going to be perfect. You're going to have the ups and downs, but you're doing what
Yep.
you can. So
That's it.
that's all that matters.
That's
Love
right.
you. Awesome, Barb. Katie, what about you? We have to always wait for everyone to figure out how to unmute their microphone whenever we're doing this. We got Katie and we got both Amandas left. There
Hello.
she is. Yeah.
Hi.
What's up,
I don't
girl?
even know why my phone's not working. Story of my life.
Oh,
Let's
it's fine.
see.
I like to watch everyone struggle on how to unmute it, so you're good.
Well, I just dropped the phone, so I don't even know what kind of setting it's on. Oh, can you see me? No.
No, you're good though.
Oh, okay. I am trying to get back in the swing of things with working out. I fell off the wagon, made 18,000 excuses. So I'm trying to make it a priority. And if you want something really bad enough, then you'll make time for it. If not, you'll make an excuse. And it sounds really good, but putting it into action's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not even gonna pretend that I've worked out every day, but I would say I've worked out 3 times this week, which is pretty good for me. And I've also incorporated some protein, which keeps me fuller during the day because if I get too busy at work, I'll just skip a meal, which is probably the absolute worst thing you can do. So I'm just taking baby steps, trying to get back into tracking things, showing up at the gym, not making excuses.
I get it. Coming off of vacation's a little bit of a challenge. And then when work is like that too, like when you're just go, go, go all the time, like you have to really like prioritize it. And it's not always easy and you're not going to want to do it every day.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is like leaning onto the team and then doing that. Then you have your husband too, and that helps as well. I'm sure he kind of harasses you.
He does. He does. He definitely gives me the motivation slash
Before
push
that,
that
I bring
I
Avery and
need.
then bringing you to D-bats.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I said he's giving me the motivation and the push that I need to get it done because I'm the queen of procrastination, but I'm
Yeah.
trying to change my habits and
Baby
Mm.
steps, one thing at a time. Eventually, they're all going to stack up. Just think, like, get really good at one thing instead of trying to do all of it at one time. And then once you get really good at that, then start the next one. You know,
yeah.
you're doing great. And now, you know what? If y'all are not busy this weekend, I expect to see you at the workout on Saturday.
We will be there.
Okay, good.
Bells and
Perfect.
whistles will be there.
Perfect. Sounds good. Awesome, Katie. Well, good to hear from you. All right, let's go Amanda O'Keefe first, and then we'll hear from the other Amanda, and then we'll get Michelle.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually walking right now.
Nice.
When I started sourdough, I'm trying to bake sourdough, and
I'm so pumped for this.
Sally, the sourdough starter, is doing amazing. She is so awesome. And maybe tomorrow I'll have bread. It just literally takes over 24 hours to bake one freaking loaf. So
You get
if
a
I
Dutch
decide-
oven?
I'll have no problem, keeping off the carbs and all that, because the bread takes 24 hours to freaking make.
Yeah.
But it's a win so far, because I got the bread to rise, and now I just have to proof it in the freaking refrigerator for 12 hours, and then I get to bake it tomorrow.
I love that. That's so exciting. I'm so excited about this new journey. Amanda's going to become a baker for all of us.
It took, yeah, I don't know about all that. It's
Too
baseball.
funny.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I'm
got something
glad it
gotta be
worked.
doing.
Huh?
Yeah, it worked. It did work. We're good.
Awesome. Love it.
Okay.
Let's go. Other Amanda. We got 2 Amanda O's. That's the funny thing here. Amanda, I muted you. There you go.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was not muted.
No, you're good.
I guess my win would be sticking to logging in, because before, when I used to, I would always skip and not be consistent with it. So I feel like with that, I've been logging everything in and hitting my protein, calories, and all my stuff that I need to. So I would say that would be my win.
I agree. And I would say just overall, this entire challenge, this is the most consistent training wise, nutrition wise, tracking everything that you've ever been in the past. So you're doing great. Keep it up.
Oh. Thank you.
And last but not least, Michelle. Let's hear your win. We're going to keep this one short, and then we're going to come back to you in a second for your big story.
Win was I did my InBody today, and I lost more pounds this month than all the rest. So that was my
How
win.
many, well, let everyone know, how many pounds did you lose this week?
This month.
Or not this month, excuse me.
This month. 9.
9 pounds this month.
9. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's from
Awesome.
moving more.
Yes.
It's from moving
Awesome,
more.
Michelle. That is huge. This was definitely your best InBody so far.
Mhm.
And it's only going to keep getting better because you're getting to a better place. So awesome. Love to hear it, guys. Well, honestly, like going around hearing all of that from all of y'all is the highlight of the week. Because that is the energy like this, seeing all of y'all win. Y'all are cheering each other on. We're just keeping the motivation up by doing this. And I think I said it last week. It's like we have so many major accomplishments that are going on our team right now, just across the board. The overall weight loss that has been achieved is insane. And that'll be something that I put together for y'all at the end of this challenge. But it is just really cool to see everyone really working together in the gym, seeing y'all kind of build off of like the comments and the app that we have. Like it's just nice to see everything really staying consistent, because I would say at week 4 this is really that time period where people are getting tired and bored, and it is like just that the repetition of like, okay, I don't want to keep doing this, but it's what we have to keep doing, kind of like Barb said, we do it for so long we get tired of it. And this is that time where it does get that monotonous kind of feeling to it, but leaning into each other and focusing on those little victories is what is going to keep you going long term as we go through this process, because there is really no end goal if you think about it. I think I was having Mitch Jill, we said this on our call like an hour ago. Once we all have this goal in mind that we're working towards. And I think once you get onto this journey, or anyone who kind of has that like winning mindset, once you get to the goal, what do? You don't just stop. You get more hungry for the next thing. So there's always going to be something that we're going to be reaching for. We're all going to hit that milestone that we want to reach, because we're not going to give up. So we'll get there, and then what? Because you're going to be a different person when you get to that goal. You're seeing the transformation happen now over the course of time as we're going through this. You're not the same person you are today as when you started, because you decided to take action and change that person. So just think of what's going to happen as you continue that process. You're going to look back and it's going to be this crazy transformation. So I just want to make sure that we're focusing on those little victories. We're keeping that momentum. We're leaning into each other, knowing too that even when this 6-week challenge is up in 2 weeks, it's not over. We still do the same thing. Nothing changes. Because again, the goals are going to shift. We're going to shift. We're going to grow into a stronger version of ourselves. So just keep that in mind as we're going through. When you do get bored, just lean into your team, do all of the things that you know work. Just don't quit. And if you have an off day, because I know some of us are going to have off days, just make sure you adapt and you get right back to it. Other than that, guys, I did want to announce, speaking of the 2 weeks we have left of the challenge, we are going to be doing a end of the challenge party, and we did this last year and it was awesome. If y'all were there for it, some of y'all were, and some of y'all, this is going to be the first time for it. But for Memorial Day, what we do, we always end the challenge with the Memorial Day party, which is a workout, barbecue, whole Memorial Day event that we're going to be having at the gym. So we kind of do it like a potluck style where you just sign up, bring a dish, whatever it is, we're going to be happy with it. And I will say, I'm not saying we have to bring like super unhealthy meals or super healthy meals. We're going to enjoy the time together. We're going to have the food. We're going to work out really hard, and we're just going to, celebrate. So don't feel obligated to just bring a fruit tray. Like, we can still bring good things is what I'm saying. But we're going to have that on Monday, the 26th. So what it's going to be, we'll end the challenge. We will announce our winners for the challenge at that event with everyone there. And then we're going to have our Murph workout going on. So if y'all know what the Murph event is, on Memorial Day, we're basically working out to honor those who have dedicated their life to our country. There is a workout that is done on Memorial Day, and I also want to preface that not everyone has to do this workout. It's more about being together. It is going to be a mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and another mile run to follow for time. There are modifications. There are variations to this workout. We will post all the different variations to it. But again, what it's more about is coming together as a team, doing the workout together, and going through something hard, because you grow together doing those hard things. That's where we really lean into each other and we build that community. That's how we built our community in 5 and 6 a.m. when we're all working out together, or 8:30. So we're going to be having that. I will be sending out emails with more details. Wes, who was in our 6 o'clock group, I'm actually really excited for this. He's going to be DJing for us at the event. So he'll have his whole music stand set up. We'll have that going. We'll have all the food. We'll have people spread out all over the gym. And we did it in heats last year because we actually had a lot of people doing it. I want to say we had 50 people or something at the gym last year. We'll have different heats set up throughout the day. So we'll have that. Yeah, I'll put all the details out for y'all. And once it gets closer, we'll start organizing the potluck and things like that. But any questions before we open it up to Miss Jill? Any comments, questions, concerns? And for those of y'all that jumped on late, don't worry, I will be posting the recording so y'all can go back and watch. But we were just talking about the Memorial Day event that we're going to be having on Monday, the 26th. It's going to be the end of the challenge party, and then also a Murph workout, barbecue, hangout, all the things, fun stuff. So I'll send y'all emails on that. But other than that, guys, let's go ahead. We are going to turn it over to Miss Jill. Miss Jill, you can just go ahead, open it up, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I will kind of direct you with the questions that we talked about.
Alrighty. Let's see. A little bit about myself. Gosh. I work all the time. And so I sit at a desk all day, all of the time. So as a matter of fact, today when I logged out, I had 38 hours already. So for me to get steps in is really trying to get steps in. So just saying that. So anyway, but that's about it for who I am. I don't do too much.
You work a lot.
I do. I don't really have a life. I don't really have a life at all. But that's okay. So I'm going to get into kind of how I got started and why I got started. So I'll make part of the story quick because it's kind of a long story-ish. 2 years ago, my mom fell apart, and she got really sick. And then my dad, he decided that while my mom was getting really sick and dying, that he was going to get Alzheimer's, sort of. And so I spent pretty much almost all of my time running back and forth an hour, back and forth, just for about 2 years. It was really very stressful. And so during those 2 years, gained weight and hurt my knee, but then my knee got better, and then I hurt my knee again. And then last year it got better, and then literally I just sat cross-legged, kind of like Indian style. And when I went to go undo my knee and get up off the couch, I couldn't move it at all, like at all. Like I thought, oh my gosh, I can't even stand up. Like I didn't have the strength in that other leg to even stand up, which I've seen everybody on the boxes. As a matter of fact, this morning, I think, getting up with that one leg, and I'm like, I can't do that. And so, and I was planning for a vacation at the time that happened. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to be able to go on my vacation because I can't walk.
Mhm.
And so just 2 years of hurting my knee, getting it better ish. I just was like, I can't live like this anymore, like at all, like to the point where I had hurt my knee again. And Louis actually had to go get my car for me, and Lance had to go over to the drugstore down the block from Be More and go
Yeah.
get me crutches just so I could get home,
Oh,
because
wow.
I couldn't even get to the car. So at that point, I was so fed up.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't live like this anymore. And so that's when Louis told me about Be More. He's like, oh, I bet CJ could help you. And so if anybody knows me, going in there at the end of November, like right at Thanksgiving, I was in a brace. I could barely walk. I could barely even get in 1,000 steps a day, even when I was kind of walking without the brace. So it was miserable. And I live upstairs and I live by myself. So you have to do everything by yourself anyway. You can't move. And so I actually had crutches like stuffed in the couch and under the bed and in the car, just so that
Like
if I
emergency.
fell apart, right, I'd have an emergency. And so I thought, I can't live like this. My age is old, but I'm a very young person still inside, and I have way too much to do. So I was like, I can't live like this. So anyway, as he's worked with me, I've gotten to where, I mean, my knee barely even hurts anymore, like at all. And we just grew my steps, and it was like, oh, I could do 1,000, and then I could do 3,000. And so for me to be doing 7,000 to 8,000 steps in this challenge is pretty much more than I've done probably in several years, just because of my knee being such a bad deal. So
Yeah.
So-
And CJ's even challenged you to 10,000 steps a few times, and you've
He-
done
yes, and he's always done it on the worst days.
it.
But that's okay.
Well, and then
yeah.
another thing I want to point out too, like your squats in the gym. I don't know. So Miss Jo comes at 7, guys. Some of y'all are in there a little earlier than she is, but I even know your squats. Like the boxes he's making you squat down to are basically sitting on the floor. So
Yeah, that's
to see
kinda
the
crazy.
improvements in just your squat mechanics and everything, the way you move is so night and day from what it
Yeah.
was when you started.
Yeah, it really is, and people take for granted that. I
Hey,
mean,
babe.
just
Go ahead.
any kind of movement you just take for granted when you're doing it every day, just to be able to get up off the chair or get in and out of a tub. Oh my gosh, like when I hurt my knee, I literally had to sit down, slide everything over, stand up. I'm like, oh my God, like I can't do this. I can't do this. So anyway, so that's very exciting. And I had it's so funny, I had told myself, like, right before Christmas, because I kind of edged into everything. I like got into the app, and then I slowly got into the nutrition. It was more about my knee than me
Yeah.
being good. And I thought after the holiday I'll do it. And my thing was anything is possible. And what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And so that's what kept getting me through. Like, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I was like, well, just keep doing this, keep working out, keep staying with the nutrition, just keep going and see as far as you can get. And I wasn't completely motivated in the beginning, you know, my knee still bothered me, but I have to say that every time I take one little bit more step forward with doing something better or getting my nutrition a little bit better, I get more motivated.
Absolutely.
So that's always lovely. Nice to
And
be.
then another question too. What is your total weight loss so far?
So my scale at home, just saying, my scale at home this morning told me that I've lost 30 pounds since Christmas.
Okay.
But the Be More scale told me it was only 29, but I'm okay with that.
For the Be More scale, we're going with the home scale instead.
For real. So that to me is amazing too, because that's almost been while I've been working so hard at just getting everything, like getting a squat right or being able to get through the gym and not be so tired, you know, or just while I was getting things done, it sort of happened. And so I really like that it sort of happened along the way.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
so.
And that's amazing. No, and that's the thing too. Your movements improved so much. Just I would even say in the past month and a half. And then this month you saw that your weight loss, you lost 9 pounds just in this past month. So to think as your movement improves, your weight loss is only going to continue to, to go up. So
True. And I accepted my nutrition. In the beginning, I just felt like I was eating way too much because
that's another thing. Your nutrition is pretty much perfect if I were to screenshot it and show the team. So
yeah, but it wasn't. And you can tell everybody how hard I fought. And I didn't want those carbs.
Most people fight me in the beginning. That's a pretty common thing. So you're not alone there. But no, I mean adjusting to meal prep. I mean like all of it. Like you've done all of those things up to this point. It's pretty amazing.
And once I made my check marks and I've accepted the nutrition and did a little bit more exercise, notice I lost 9 pounds this month.
Yeah.
Where the month before was only 3. And my nutrition was not completely on par, and I was only walking, so many steps. So making all my check marks definitely Blakely was right. It works.
It works if you do it. It's crazy. I don't know why. But no, that's incredible. So what would you say? I know we kind of talked about like your knee, but what would you say was like your biggest obstacle? Was it mental? Was it physical? What was that for you? Or is there one?
Wow. Obstacles. I'm my own biggest obstacle. Me. The food. Was I ready to commit? Like I would have never done a trainer. I would have never gone to a nutritionist. I would have never gone to a gym. Like I know I'm talking now, but I'm a very quiet, don't want to be seen, like don't even want to be seen kind of person. Like now once I know you, I'm going to talk your ear off, but just for me to go to the gym or do any of that is like so not me. I had to really overcome that. So I'm not being stuck up. I'm just being very shy, and I'm just like always nervous to be, or just to be.
Yeah, no,
but I'm my own biggest obstacle. Just the nutrition, or just kind of not, like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, but I don't know, just going, oh, but no, you commit. Like the fact that we have to take a picture of our tracking steps every day, that's terrific. The fact that I have an appointment to see CJ, to go there, that also now when I come home, if I don't have my steps, like I put my purse in my trunk, and before I even come in the door, like I will not allow myself to come in the door until I've gone and treadmilled to get all my steps in or walked around the complex.
Yeah. And it's
So
those little habits, I mean, they're adding up.
yeah,
They're definitely adding up. But I do. I mean, I think it's pretty common, and I think that's majority of people probably on this call could say one of the hardest things is their own self. Our own mind can be like our worst enemy sometimes because we're like fighting that voice inside our head, being like, "Oh, you don't have to do it."
right,
But then you're fighting
right.
the other voice. It's like, "No, you do."
Yeah.
So that
And
mental battle definitely with yourself can be challenging sometimes.
true. And this was a very challenging week. This is a very busy week for me at work. And I've come to accept that all days are not perfect. Today I left my chicken at home, so I had to make do with the bad pea protein powder we have at work.
Yeah.
But I did it. And then I got home. We talked about me having the yogurt with protein powder when I got home. Guess what? I didn't go to the store, so I don't have that either. So I have to I'm like
What makes
rearranging.
it?
Right.
A
I
protein shake
forgot.
with peanut butter and milk.
There you go. I forgot my work clothes at home the other day. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but I have to go directly from Be More in the morning to work. And when I get there, I'm trying to fix myself as much as possible while people are already there. And, I'm trying to do as quickly as possible. So I don't have time to do all that. And so I got there and went to go pull out my clothes, and I forgot my work clothes. And so I had to stay in my gym clothes all day. And of course, a partner came in and all kinds of deliveries. I was like, nobody was supposed to be here today. I was telling you my pajamas sometimes inside out. You're like, oh, I didn't even notice.
You make do
You
and
make
you
trade-offs.
still do it.
You make trade-offs.
Yeah. And you still won though. You still made it happen.
Yeah.
You
So
still
yeah,
made it happen.
you just played Tetris with the nutrition, like you said.
Yeah, there you go.
So
Well, and the big thing is you've learned how to make those adjustments. Now you've learned how to, oh, like,
yeah,
shoot, my plan totally didn't happen the way that I thought it was. What is my
yeah,
plan B? You at least know how to adjust and adapt in those
yeah.
situations now compared to when we started, which is a win.
Or I would have just completely let it go and
Right.
said, yeah, whatever. I'll just have whatever for the rest of the day. And I'll be back on it tomorrow, but I would have let the rest of the day go. Now I
Exactly.
don't.
Yeah.
Now
And that's huge.
and it's easy. And now it's easy. Now that I've stacked on all the different things. If I would have done everything all at once, and when you are doing everything at once in the beginning, obviously,
Yeah.
but as I say, it's almost like you're faking it until you make it. You're like, okay, well, I'm doing the best I can. And then you find, oh, well, I did a little bit better with that this week. Or I did a bit every week. You're doing a little bit better with this, that, or the other.
And that's the biggest thing. It's just, that's what we say. Like, try to be 1% better every day. If it's
Yeah.
just 1%, it might not seem like a lot, but by the end of it, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Keep stacking those. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. So what would you say then would be like your biggest motivator? Like, how do you keep yourself going aside from like having that accountability piece? Like, what is it that drives you?
I don't know, kind of like still that commitment. I had told myself, like the what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail?
I wrote that down because I actually loved it so much that I had to. That's funny. Yeah, go ahead.
What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Nothing's impossible, especially nowadays. They're like, you can talk yourself into, you can think yourself into being and feeling anything, or whatever. But I had told myself that this year I was going to transform. This was my transformation year. I didn't know what that was going to look like, but I was just going to let it be.
Okay.
And so
I love that. That's so great.
we'll see.
I think that's awesome. And honestly, like those positive affirmations, I know it sounds cheesy and everyone's like, all right, yeah, I'm going to tell myself this. It's like, no, do it. Because your mind is way more powerful than you think. So if you sit there and you tell yourself, like, I'm never going to do it. I'm always going to be like this. Like, I'm always going to be in pain. Or if you tell yourself, like, no, I'm not. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do it. I have what it takes to change. I am capable of doing these things. You kind of start to believe that crazy voice inside your head. And then you look back and you have transformed your entire life.
True, and then I do have Amanda the other day. She also cheerleads me on and said,
Yeah.
"I'm sure if you thought somebody was dying, you'd be able to do it." And I was like, "Yes."
True. True.
Like, yes,
That's funny. Amanda's
know.
definitely a good motivator, I will say that.
she is. And then one day I was trying to do something that I'd never done. I was like, "Oh, my knee is not going to do this." And she's like, "What do you need to do?" And she did it with me, and that made it much better. So I do appreciate it.
That's
So
awesome. I love that. I love that. So if you had, I guess we'll wrap it up with this. If you had to give anyone who is new or someone who's maybe like going through a hard time or anything like that, what would be your biggest piece of advice in terms of just sticking to it?
do it the best you can until it gets easier, because everything's very overwhelming. I think in the beginning you're trying to do a lot of things and don't have, just do a little bit. Eventually it'll get easier. You'll be able to do more, because I got very frustrated in the beginning too. Like, I wasn't up to par. I couldn't walk. So I couldn't do what everybody else was doing. I wasn't good at the food. I don't cook. So
But now you
know,
do.
I make a few things.
A few things.
So I go to Sam's Club and they always have this grilled chicken made.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I buy like 3 bins of it. I get home, I chop it all up, I freeze them all, and then I pull out a baggie at a time.
There you go.
You know, if I'm not cooking ground meat or whatever. But
Right.
you know, if I'm not cooking, it's like, yes, we're gonna make it as easy as possible. So just make it as easy as possible. Eventually the good for you food will happen, because I find that, okay, now I am eating better, like my carbs are going to vegetables
Right.
instead of
Like
other
once
stuff.
we get the basics done, then we kind of start fine tuning the rest.
Yeah, but just like I said, fake it until you make it, because
Yeah.
every little bit is gonna get you there. It just might be, it's not gonna be as fast as you want.
Yep.
But it happens when you're not looking.
Well, and it happens, and all of a sudden you look back and you don't even like, to me, just hearing you say, like, when you started, you were only walking 1,000 steps, like you were hurting so much. Like, I had like tears in my eyes thinking about that, because I remember when you walked in, and then seeing you now, it's like, it's hard to even remember that version of you, because now I just see this like strong person that you've transformed into, and you're more bubbly and you're more out there and you're like coming more into your skin. So you can see those transformations happening, and that's like the most powerful thing. So just like hold on to that,
Yeah.
just keep it going, because you are doing what you said you wanted to do this year. You are transforming your life at this point. So just keep doing it, because it's pretty incredible to watch. And I think anyone who has seen you from the beginning to now can vouch and say the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah,
great.
definitely different than when I walked in, for sure.
Definitely different. Definitely different. You get me emotional. It gets me like, it is. It like puts tears in my eyes, just because I know it's such a big transformation for you or for anyone to feel the difference of what it feels like to truly like feel good, to be able to move, to feel what it's like to fuel your body with good food. I mean, it's not just a physical difference that we feel it mentally, emotionally, all of the things. So very powerful.
Definitely.
Very powerful. Well, awesome, Ms. Jill. I cannot thank you enough for sharing. I know you might have been a little nervous to share, but your story is so powerful. Just to know, like I said, where you started to where you are now. So thank you again for sharing. You're inspiring all of us. And keep up the hard work. You're doing really good. Really good.
Thank you.
Well, all right, guys. Do y'all have any comments or questions for Ms. Jill? Anyone before we wrap it up for the night? Everyone's good? All right, guys. Well, we will go ahead. We will close it out. Again, Ms. Jill, thank you so much. I cannot thank you enough. That was awesome. And I can't wait to share this with everyone who wasn't on here. I will see most of y'all in the morning for our Friday workout. If y'all are here It's throwing me off because it's Thursday today, and I'm thinking it's yeah. I'll see y'all most of y'all tomorrow for the workout. If y'all are around for the weekend and you want to get an extra workout in, we'll be doing our Saturday community workout at 8 a.m. And then again, be on the lookout for all the details that are going to be coming out for the Memorial Day event. Y'all will soon be getting lots of info there. But other than that, guys, I will let y'all go. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.